Hi, this is Tara Green, and I'm here in beautiful, amazing Sedona, Arizona. I know I'm a little bit bleached out there. I'm not really sure how to change the settings, so we have to just go with the flow. So now, today is a beautiful, powerful day to refocus and rededicate ourselves as priestesses of the earth. It's a very powerful day because Vesta, the goddess of investments, of investing in yourself, of investiture, the sacred virgin, whole and complete into herself, virgin goddess, is at the 29th degree today. And so the 29th degree of all signs are critical turning points where we need to reintegrate all of the energy that we've learned before. And she is at the 29th degree of Taurus, which is a very, very powerful connection to the fixed star Algol, or Medusa, which of course in the patriarchy has a very bad reference, but she's actually part of the ancient goddess Saraswati, who was part of the trinity of Lakshmi, who I'm dedicated to. Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, the great powerful goddess who rides the tiger, who the gods called in when the world was in chaos and all the demons were taking over. Durga was the only one, like the great mother that she is, to stop the war and to kind of smack down all those bad boys who were warring. So 29 degrees of Taurus, it's the end of the degree of the first earth sign where we manifest in the Garden of Eden. So we need to ground that energy today. Okay, Vesta helps us to focus, to dedicate ourselves as sacred priestesses, and all women in ancient times served as these sacred vessels of Vesta. They were sacred hierodules, they were sacred priestesses who were tantric sexual priestesses. That's why they have been suppressed. And each woman is a goddess, and each woman embodied the goddess, and their function was to keep that sacred fire, the sacred fire of illumination, of source energy, always burning, which represents the sacred fire of our souls, of our spirits. And they would make love to men to purify them after they had been in war, after they had spilled blood in a profane way. They had post-traumatic stress disorder, and before they could reintegrate into society, they would go to the sacred temples of Vesta, and the women would make love to them as divine embodiments, and the men would be purified, especially when they were bleeding, especially when they were on their menstruation, which is the most sacred, most powerful, magical blood of life. That was the exchange of the sacred blood of life from the women to purify the men who had done something unholy, created unholy bloodshed. Okay, so Vesta, honoring our sacred moon times, honoring our wombs, honoring our dedication to ourselves as goddesses. And then there's Lilith. Lilith, the most powerful dark goddess there is, the first woman. Okay, she was the first one, the goddess herself. Everything is born of the feminine. That's what all indigenous laws say. Everything is born of the feminine, and nothing should be done to harm the children, and we're all the children of the earth. So Lilith, the first woman, she represents, God in the Jewish tradition has two masculine and two feminine sides, a positive and a negative. We live in a world of duality. They have to be there to balance out. So the positive feminine in the Hebrew is called the Shekinah. She's like the all-loving, birth-giving, like Mary in Christianity, mother. And Lilith is the dark side. She represents the death goddess. She represents the death bringer, because women all give birth and they all bring death. It makes sense. You come in the vagina, you go out the cosmic vagina, which is the galactic center of this solar system. So Lilith, who was in the story that the patriarchy made up, the Old Testament, it's all about denying her presence and shunning her and blaming women. That's all that all patriarchal religions are about. They're just expressly formed to put down women. And now after this 5,000 years of crazy illusion, and we're almost at the brink of catastrophe, the divine feminine has to come in. So I implore all you goddesses, all women, you do remember this. I do know. I remember all my past lives as a high priestess in the temple, and I know that you know. And so this is your time to wake up. So today, May the 15th, 16th, to dedicate yourself, rededicate yourself as the divine embodiment of the goddess in your body, the temple itself. So Lilith, she refused to be on the bottom. Adam tried to sexually dominate her, and she said, no, 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 you can't treat me that way. We're equals. So she left the Garden of Eden and went to live by the Red Sea. That's the story. Now, they're all psychological, all archetypal, all mythological stories. So it's also a metaphor that she gets her period. That's the death, from the patriarchal's point of view, that's the death cycle. Okay, and life and death are all part of the same cycle. So Lilith was this beautiful, wild, sexual, free, all women before patriarchy, before marriage, the function of marriage, chose their own lovers. They had many lovers. That's a biological necessity so they could create the strongest genetic children. And they were not to be tamed. And their sexuality is omnipotent compared to men's, and men knows that. So the men are actually very insecure, or they got very insecure at some point. So Lilith, one of her symbols is the snake. She comes back in the Garden of Eden as the snake to tell Eve to think for herself, which Eve does. And then, of course, the moral of the story is, women cannot listen to their instincts, cannot listen to their own independence, or else they're going to be blamed and all that baloney bullshit. Okay, so Lilith is also at the 29th degree of Libra, where she's been since 2015. And so, in a way, one of Lilith's things that she needs to learn is to be able to balance with the other. I think she is quite willing. It's just that Adam, that the new patriarchal didn't want to give her equality. So she has been negotiating peace and balance for the last, I'd say, since September 2015, fall of 2015. So now, after all this time, she's going to enter Scorpio in the next day or so. And so in Scorpio, it seems to be much more Lilith type of territory. She loves the sex and the power and the secrecy and the darkness and all of that stuff, depth psychology, Lilith. So it's going to be very powerful when she enters Scorpio. But now that she's at the 29th degree of Libra, what we want to do is to bring a sense of balance and peace inside of ourselves, okay, so that we are honoring our own inner masculine and feminine. So I'm here in Sedona. I had a very powerful session. The crystal skull just before this, Einstein, is called, very huge, beautiful, 30-pound, 33-pound skull. I spent an hour touching him, and he touched me, and his skull really entered me. I have a deep connection to the crystal skulls, and I used my own Herkimer diamond crystal, I don't know if you can see that, to touch Einstein. So what I want to do right now is I'm rededicating myself with the moon in Taurus under the very powerful Virgo moon, the Virgin moon, whole and complete inside of herself. I call upon the sign of Virgo, the sixth sign of health and service and embodiment and practicality and organization and details and health, natural herbs, natural healing to come and be here with me in my heart and in this ceremony. And I call upon the trine between the moon, Virgo moon, and Venus, the goddess herself, whose symbol is the pentagram, who is the great star, the love, the beauty, the arts. I call upon the trine between Virgo, Taurus, Venus. We call upon you, Venus, the great goddess of love. And we call upon the trine to Pluto. So Venus is love, Pluto is death. And Pluto must have once been a feminine form as well, because, again, like I said, the women are always the birth givers and the death bringers. Or Pluto's masculine, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, we call upon Pluto in Capricorn. It's 17 degrees today, making this beautiful trine. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful trine, a triangle, Holy Trinity. And at this time, I rededicate myself as a priestess of the goddess, remembering in every cell of my being that I have been a priestess throughout time, and time itself is all insubstantial. All time is now. So rededicating myself. In yourself, I call upon the goddess Isis, who I see in my mind's eye. I was a priestess of Isis, and a priestess, an embodiment of Lakshmi, and Tara, and Saraswati, and Durga, Kuan Yin, all those goddesses that I have dedicated myself to, all the female Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Dakas, the Dakinis, not the Dakas, that's masculine. I rededicate myself in service to the most holy, feminine, divine energy. On this day, on May the 15th, 2016, by the powers of the 29th degree, the most critical degree, I vow to learn the lessons of the earth plane to bring in my spiritual, soulful, highest self. All the angels, by the God taught as well, may He hear me. Call upon sacred powers of the East, powers of fire and spirit, illumination and enlightenment, to be here with me in this circle, to witness, to bring light to this rededication. And I call upon the sacred powers of the South, the powers of water, a flow of the heart, to be open, to receive the goddess Diana, to receive this blessing. And I call upon the sacred powers of the West, place of the earth and the physical plane of all the goddesses, place of intuition and introspection in the dream, and may those, the dream time and the waking time, be one. So we are open channels of change, release, death, rebirth, transformation, always, 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 always. And I call upon the sacred powers of the North, the powers of the winds, which are blowing very strongly today, opening our minds to new teachings, to new ceremonies, to new wisdom. I call upon the goddess Sophia, goddess of wisdom, to come and be here with me. And feel this energy coming down from your higher chakras. There is 9 chakras. About a foot above your head, imagine a big light or a pearl. To your higher self, to your guardian angels. And then there's a soul star above your head also. That one needs to be always in place. Call upon the starbird. Call upon the divine feminine, the great mother, and open up your crown chakra. Feel that energy coming down from the highest and opening up your pineal gland, cleansing that, and then opening up your third eye, your wisdom, your inner eye, and then opening up your throat chakra so that you may speak the truth, or sing the truth, and then opening up your heart chakra, like a flower, a rose, feeling the love. You may see it as a beautiful peach color, and then opening up your will, your inner sun. This is where your spiritual umbilical cord is out into the world, so that you may do what you will. And then opening up your womb, your sacred womb space. And if you've had a hysterectomy, that's okay. You still have a spirit womb, and men have spirit wombs as well. They were all originally feminine as well. So opening up your womb to be receptive is the power of the feminine receptivity, knowing deep within every fiber of your being what to do before you do it, listening to your body, listening to your cycles, listening to your flow. And even if you're menopausal women are considered to be Crohn's, Chrone. It's a very proud term. You keep your sacred blood within you at all times. And then going into your root chakra, your flame, your root, your power, red fire. Opening up your root chakra, the Kundalini energy. And it's grounding energy, grounding yourself to the earth, and then send that energy down, 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 past the rocks and the crystals, deep, deep down into Mother, or our Mother. Every day is Mother's Day. Send it down, down, down. As you go deep down into the core, heart flame. Oh, Mother. Really speak your vows now that you will vow to dedicate yourself as a Vestal Virgin to honor the earth, the environment, the divine feminine, yourself as an embodiment of the goddess. So that every moment is holy and sacred. And also honor Lilith and the power to be in a relationship, but to be strong enough in yourself that you do not lose yourself in that relationship. That's very important, that you learn to love yourself and that you learn how to share and acknowledge the other, which is a divine aspect of yourself too. The divine masculine is the partner of the divine feminine. I'm just seeing these beautiful energies in my mind's eye. I see the Mother Mary. I see these beautiful red roses. Just listening to the winds blowing here, and the crystal skulls, and the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and the Sirians, and all of the star beings who also love us. We are the ancestors, and we are also dreaming ourselves here. So, to dedicate each moment, every day, to make an altar, to dedicate yourself to Vesta, to invest in yourself. It would be good to put a copper penny away, to remember to invest in yourself. Copper is sacred to Venus. And to write down that you will invest in yourself and in the earth in some way. There are new archetypes coming in now as well. I'm seeing this beautiful sacred geometry, beautiful multicolored geometry, very ancient goddess coming through. Feel this energy just making you alive and really coming into your body to worship the temple. So whenever it feels right for you, you can give thanks to the Mother Earth. Know that your dedication has been heard. And then if there are tears of grief or gratitude, you can leave those tears with the Mother Earth. And then slowly make your way back up through the earth, the crystals, the rocks, the gold, the minerals, the oil, the skeletons. Make your way back up like a plant growing up through the earth, coming back in through the soles of your feet. Your souls are, the Spirit speaks in puns, so your soul and the soles of your feet are the same. You walk on this holy ground. And bring the energy back up through the soles of your feet, back through into your tailbone and back up into all of your chakras, and then send it out to the star beings, to the galactic center, to the great cosmic womb. And know that your prayers and your dedication is being heard. And ask if you have a mission or something you need to hear right now. And then see yourself on this earth and see how much influence you can have as a single woman, as a single being, that you are connected to the great all. And then bring that stellar energy, the cosmic breath, back down into your crown chakra. Just felt the buzz. And back down into your body and root it. Winds are blowing. Right. So thank you. And I'm here if you have questions, if you'd like to get a reading about how these individual goddesses function in your chart. I'm an astrologer and an intuitive healer. You can go to my website, www.taratarot.com. You can text me, 416-230-5347. And I'd be very happy to meet with you and bless you and to offer my services to you. Ho, so mote it be. Merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. Ho.